fits perfectly with that whole concept we were talking about with the self-criticism, that self-talk, the negative talk, because um, that is all centered around perception, right? And so your perception changes the words that you use. It changes your beliefs, which changes the words that you speak, uh, which determine whether or not you're going to speak positively or negatively about yourself. So one example related to this is my husband has said to me many years, rightfully so, he would say things like, wow, your childhood was awful, like your childhood sucked, like, like when we would talk about it. And for many years there I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess it did, and then in the past few years, I've actually one time when he said that to me, I said to him, I appreciate you like acknowledging, how bad my childhood was. But if you keep saying that to me over and over, it will always be my story, right? That will always be my perception. So could we not say that anymore? And so I actually don't look back at my childhood and think, oh my gosh, my childhood sucked. While I certainly could, I don't do that anymore. Now I look back at my childhood and I say, my childhood made me resilient and empathetic, right? All these positives came out of my childhood. And so now it doesn't hold me captive anymore. It no longer holds me in that space of identity of a victim that, oh, it was so bad. And I keep coming around to it. It was so bad. It will hold you in a victim space. So that's part of the flipping. And, and so if you can flip it to a positive, then you stop being critical, because even though it doesn't sound like a self-criticism when you're saying, oh, I had a really bad childhood and this happened to me and this happened to me, but it's sitting in the same negative space as though I was criticizing myself. It's saying all these bad things happened to me. And so I'm going to trudge those up into the present moment and have that moment, basically forecast my future.
That moves the whole discussion, because Sita, how many adults say I had a perfect childhood? Not very many.
Yeah.
I mean, like, maybe there's a number on it somewhere, but it has to be less than 10%. I mean, I grew up in a really good, but man, I had some. Every families have stuff,
Yeah.
just,
They
it
go
just
through
is.
challenges.
Yeah, yeah, sure you do, and you have a bad day, and you aren't your best one day. And a friend of mine said, and I've never forgotten this, and I love this, almost like a 1-2 punch. The first he said to me, and now when I tie that to what you just said, it's really powerful. He said, "I've decided that you become an adult when you can wake up one morning and say, Mom and Dad, for all their faults, did the best they knew how."
Yeah.
Did the best they knew how, with what they could, with where they were, with their limitations and perceptions and things. They did the best they could. So that's forgiveness. That's forgiveness for that. But now you're taking this one step further, and if you can say, not only I forgive them, they did the best they could with what they had, with where they were in their context, and say every negative experience made me a more empathetic, resilient person.
Yeah.
Then you couple forgiveness with affirmation.
Yes, exactly. And so to tie this together with what we talked about at the beginning, we talked about inability to change behaviors, right? Inability to change your habits, inability to achieve that goal. So when I talk about these coping mechanisms, they often develop from not feeling good enough, right? It is harder to achieve a goal if you do not feel good enough. And so this self-criticism comes because most of us, based on our childhoods, don't feel good enough. If you can change that narrative for yourself and stop criticizing, you will start feeling good enough, and you will be able to achieve your goals because you won't need the coping mechanisms anymore. So it's a way to reverse engineer the nervous system.